Yeah.
What is Golden State's best starting lineup? What's their best finishing lineup? You looked at some of the numbers. What do
Uh-huh.
you think? I mean, is it Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, Looney? What I would call your standard
Yes.
foundation of number of starting lineup. Is that the best starting lineup? Is that the best finishing lineup? Where do you weigh in on their lineups? You like that five?
Well, I did some research, and Friday's Locked On Warriors was heavily focused on this because I wanted to see what five-player rotations were most effective in terms of net rating. The NBA collects that data, which is huge for a lot of journalists and and just hoops junkies like me. So, but then you have to like look at the numbers and then kind of like whittle down the top of the list because they don't filter out, for example, minutes played. So if you just look at the list just in its raw form, there's five-man groups that have played like 5 minutes together the whole season, but that 5 minutes was out of this world. So their net rating is astronomical. So I did it first based on a minimum of 300 minutes played together, right? So I narrowed down the list of that, like minimum of 300 minutes played together, because when you look at 300 or more, you're taking into account starting lineups in the NBA, players that have been playing for I don't know how many games, but that 300 was a barometer. The Warriors starting five is far and away the most effective five-man group in the NBA. Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, and Kevon Looney. They played 331 minutes together, and they lead the NBA in net rating at 21.9. What that means is that for every 100 possessions, the Warriors with that five-man group are outscoring their opponents by 21.9 points. That's astronomical. To put it in perspective, the second highest rating, and we're looking at a minimum of 300 minutes played together, is the Nuggets, right? And we're talking Caldwell Pope, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, and Nikola Jokic. That five has played 416 minutes together. The Warriors five played 331, right? So this five played almost 100 more, and their net rating is 16.6. That's 5.3 less than the Warriors. That's a considerable gap. And then you look at the third most efficient, which is Jalen Brunson, Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett,
Wow, really?
Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson of the Knicks. They played 392 minutes together, and
Never
they
would have
own
guessed
a
that.
plus 8.1. That's your top three. So it's the Warriors at 21.9. It's the Nuggets five, that's 16.6. And then the Knicks, interestingly enough, and the Knicks aren't bad. I mean, and they're right, they're going to make the playoffs. But that five has a plus 8.1. And then from there, it's all really close. So like that, the Knicks five is like in a bunch of a lot of other five sums. But the point is, the Warriors five is far and away the best. So that group is not the issue. In fact, they're playing better this year than they did last year. So then you have to look at, okay, so who in the bench is coming through? Like who's dropping the ball, who's carrying the load, and the bench has clearly been the issue this year. So number two on the team, I had to lower the number to 30 minutes played together. The second most efficient group for the
DiVincenzo?
Warriors is DiVincenzo. No Steph, though. So it's DiVincenzo, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Jonathan Kuminga, and Draymond Green. That
Say that
five,
again. So it's DiVincenzo, Poole,
uh-huh,
Draymond, Kuminga, and who?
and Klay Thompson.
Wow.
And
Okay.
that five is a plus 37.5. So that's a great lineup. And I personally love when Kuminga's playing. I think he's a solid asset off the bench. DiVincenzo, obviously. And then this Gary Payne, the second thing is huge. Hopefully he's healthy and comes back soon. And then just one last stat for the five sums to throw out to you.
Yeah.
The second five-man unit on the team in terms of minutes played together, right? So like the starting five that I listed, they're far and beyond on the court together the most, again, at 331 minutes played together. The second most minutes played together on the group is a five-sum of Steph, Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, and Draymond Green. That's a small ball lineup that Kerr was starting with for like 2-3 weeks there.
Like that's
When
like
he
their
benched.
we'll call that their best offensive lineup, let's say,
Yeah, but
right?
but not really, because they played 155 minutes together, and they're a negative 2.0. So, and the difference there, you literally just are swapping out Kevon Looney for Jordan Poole. And in doing so, you're going small, you're getting way more offense, but you're
Way
going
less
from plus
defense.
21, you're going from plus 21.9 to minus 2.0. The point is you need some size out there, man. You can't just play small ball and expect to kick ass. It doesn't work. So,
That being said,
yeah,
what is the best finishing lineup literally a night by night kind of a question? Is it
probably.
matchup specific, or do you like to finish? Should the Warriors have a consistent finishing lineup in your mind?
Well, they did last year. Last year was a small ball lineup, especially in the playoffs. Like for a while, people thought that was like the next death lineup, and it was effective for a good while. The question you have to ask yourself basically is, do you want Jordan Poole finishing games for you or not? Um, Based on this season, I think the answer to that is no. I actually think Dante DiVincenzo
I agree.
is better suited. He's athletic. He's not a bad rebounder. He's a fantastic defender. He's
He's a
not a
more
liability
well-rounded
shoot.
player. He's a
He
much more
is, yeah,
well-rounded player.
agreed. So,
And he
yeah, it's
also
very good.
recognizes things on the floor far quicker than Poole does. Um, who is okay? Is it a 9-man playoff rotation? And if it's a 9-man playoff rotation, isn't it already set? Curry, Clay, Wiggins, Draymond, Looney, your 5, DiVincenzo, Poole, Kuminga, and if he's healthy, GP2. Isn't that your top 9 right there? And
And JaMychal Green. It wouldn't
that would
surprise
be
me if
10.
if JaMychal Green cracked the rotation to give some depth as a big and made 10. But there's players on the buyout market like Kevin Love is officially now available. I think he would be phenomenal as a buyout player on this team. Even though Adrian Wojnarowski reported today that there have been no conversations so far with the Warriors. Kevin Love's been talking to the Miami Heat.
Cavs,
Um,
Philly.
and Philly, correct, yeah, and the Philadelphia 76ers are the other team, and then Serge Ibaka's out there. You and I both love him. I think Patrick Beverley in the short term, because we don't know when Gary Payton II is going to come back. I think Patrick Beverley will be fantastic as a short term addition for this team. I mean, he can handle the point. You don't need Ty Jerome anymore. He plays defense. He can help you with that perimeter D, which is their biggest weakness all year.
How about
Yeah,
a
so
rim protector? How about Nerlens Noel? How
two,
about somebody who could block some shots? How about somebody that makes you kind of go, do I want to drive to the front of the rim? I just feel like when Looney's not in there, it's like, it's a race to the front of the rim against Golden State, and nobody's
yeah.
afraid. I would, I mean, what do you think? Talk about the buyout market. It's developing right now. I believe March 1st is the deadline. You got to be on the roster for. I believe is it the final day of the regular season?
No, I think you're right. I don't think you can just pick someone up at the very end.
So I think it's March 1st. So
I believe
that's coming up here in the
that's coming up.
next couple weeks.
You're
Let's say we're
absolutely right.
2 weeks away from the buyout deadline. I think it's the end of the year for free agents, and for buyout candidates, I think it's March 1st. I think.
I think you know your stuff,
What
sir.
is the need? I mean, do you want Kevin Love? Kevin Love can pass. He's got great basketball IQ, and he can shoot the ball. He'll
And
stretch the
rebounds.
floor. He'll
And a great
rebound.
rebounder.
Yeah, he'll
Yeah.
rebound. He might be the best outlet passer in the game. So you've got a rebounder and a floor stretching big who's played in the finals, who the Warriors have talked about acquiring for literally ever. Then there's Beverly, who's an absolute pesty on the ball defender who is a great, replacement for GP2 in a lot of ways because he gives you a lot of the same things. Then
Mm-hmm.
there's other names being out there. I mean, Serge Ibaka 3 years ago, I thought looked like an awesome candidate. He can shoot the three, he can protect the rim, but he's physically gone downhill. I don't
Yeah.
think he's quite the same player. I'd almost rather go with like a younger big. Dwayne Dedman was out there. He went somewhere else, right?
Is
There
Stanley
was
Johnson still out there? I wouldn't mind him
Stanley
either.
Johnson is a great name. He
Yeah.
went to Arizona. He kind
Mm-hmm.
of rekindled his career with the Lakers. He was damn good this year for who? San Antonio?
He was playing with the Spurs.
Yeah.
This year, I don't know what he's been doing, but
No, he played well for the Spurs.
yeah. He plays well everywhere.
He's a
But I don't.
6'8" guy who doesn't who's kind of been a lacking shooter, but he's as good an athlete at 6'8" as there is in the league.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
he's
agree.
really
I
strong.
agree.
He's 225 pounds. He's strong as a bull. He's almost kind of a Kuminga 3-4, right? He's not really a pure three. He's definitely not a 2-3. The handle's kind of the outside shot's kind of but he is athletic
Yeah.
and and can really run the floor. That's an interesting one. I hadn't heard his name thrown out there.
And then, and I think he's available now. And then names that are players that are rumored to be
Yeah,
available if
who
they're not
else is going to be
already. Yeah, like
potentially available?
Dario Saric is supposedly going to be available. He's a
What do you think of
big,
that?
yeah, so. I don't.
Is he
I
healthy?
think if better than nothing is what I'll say about him. But there are better names. Like you know what's a weird one? JTA might be available. Juan Toscano Anderson. He might like he was part of all those of the trade for where Westbrook got shipped out. He was shipped out with them. He might be bought out. I wouldn't mind him coming back at this
He's a
point.
defender. I mean,
Yeah,
he doesn't give you a lot other than he plays defense and has got energy. I was
like
hoping they would
Thaddeus.
get something a little bit better than that.
Yeah, but I
Who
mean,
else? Who else could be out there?
there's a Thaddeus Young.
So
Uh,
old at this
he,
point.
yeah, he's older at this point. And then that's really it. And then Nerlens Noel, who you mentioned, and I would love any of those guys. In all honesty, man,
What's the
I'm not
most
I'm not
important
I'm,
thing?
I'm not holding my breath.